Hey guys, Donnie here, and you're watching Big Drone Flyer 77. And when we come back, I got a few accessories here, and some are a must-have, and some, well, you'll have to be the judge of that. So, coming up right after this. Hey, welcome back, guys. Hey, I got some pretty cool little products, and it's from HobbyInRC. So I do thank you guys for sending these accessories to me for a review today. Today, I feel that some of these are a must-have, and that is the Mavic Air's ND filters. That to me is always a must on any drone, especially where I live, where it's sunny over here in California, very bright. So it is a good suggestion to have ND filters. So today I have two of them. I'll show you guys the view from that. I have the ND8 and then the ND16, which those two are basically my favorite ND filters to use. So we're going to test that out. Sunny Life actually gives you, for each one, they give you a tin container that holds the ND filter. So I went ahead and took them out. I just put both of them in one container, and as you can see, you can actually hold up to 4 more, so it can hold 6 ND filters. So I only have the two, the 8 and 16. Those are my two favorite ones. Those are the ones I use the most. I'll probably get a ND32 because sometimes it gets super bright, especially if you're over water or anything like that. So I may get one of those as well. But the reason why I wanted to talk about these is I wanted to show you guys how to put them on, because it's not that it's tough. It's just the first initial getting this piece off right here on the Mavic Air, because from the factory it's pretty tight. I don't know if anybody's had theirs where they were loose, but this one was pretty tight. I just wanted to show you the best way I found without putting any stress on the gimbal, so you can take this piece off and then screw on the ND filter. And also having the ND filter on there when you're starting up the Mavic Air, people asked me about it with the DJI Spark. When you fire it up with that ND filter, the weight is really fairly close, so it doesn't put any extra stress on the gimbal or anything when you do a fire up. So when it's calibrating the gimbal, it does just fine, guys. So you don't have to worry about that if you left the ND filter on and you want to do your initial fire up and it does its calibration. So it'll be fine. So I hold it like this. You see I got my hand around it, so that way I have some support, and I pinch down right here, so that way I'm not putting pressure on that gimbal. And then I go ahead and twist this to come off. When it's brand new and you never took it off, it'll be a little bit tight, but don't use tools, guys. It will come off, okay? So this just comes off. There's no lens in here. As you can see, there's no lens in here. The lens is right here on the drone itself. So without hitting this camera here, okay? And so this just screws right on here, and you just want to snug it a little. I barely put a little bit on there. It's not going to come off, so that way you don't put stress on the gimbal. So guys, like I said, when you fire it up, it's going to be okay, because it's not much heavier than that piece I just took off here. So it's not going to mess anything up when you do the gimbal calibration at the initial startup. So, but if you feel that you don't want to do that, then do what's best for you and what you're comfortable with. But I wanted to show you that, and the reason why I wanted to show you this cover is because they made this cover here, so in case you wanted to leave the ND filter on, you're able to still put this cover on, because the other cover, it's too shallow. It grounds out here and it pushes on the gimbal. It pushes it back like so, and to me, you force snapping that original cover on isn't good. So I believe that's why they developed this one. So yeah, this one's a little different, but you know what? It fits right in there. You got plenty of room for the gimbal and the camera to sit in there without grounding out. Because when you try to use the old one, the original one that comes on, and I'll show you what I mean. When this comes on right here, okay, right now I'm already pressing on it. It doesn't want to snap down, and when it does, it's really forcing this back, and you can damage that gimbal. So don't put this cover on with the ND filter on. I suggest to get this aftermarket one. I believe that's why they made it, so that way you can slide this one on with the ND filter still on, so that way you don't have to keep taking it on and off if you use that filter a lot. So all right guys, I wanted to show you that real quick. So all right, let's get on with some of the other stuff. Right now I have it set on sunny, and we got the we got 1080p, and I'm doing 25 frames per second. So you know, we're gonna go with without the ND filter right now, just to see what it looks like. And I'll go anywhere from about 100 to 200 feet up in the air, and then we'll go from there, bring it back down, and then I'll show you what the ND filter 16 looks like and the 8 looks like. So let's get started. Alright guys, here's the ND8 filter. Let's go ahead and take this thing up here. Getting pretty windy too. Okay guys, now this one is going to be the ND16. So you know, I do recommend I always shut down the aircraft before I go and switch out those ND filters, so that way you're not putting a strain on the gimbal. So alright guys, let me get this fired up and let's go up to 150 feet and see what the ND16 looks like. This one's definitely my favorite one here for this area. Take off. Okay guys, hey, I'm going to take off the propellers real quick here, so that way for safety, so when I go out to do a little filming, won't have to worry about the props or anything turning on. So this is pretty simple guys. This just unscrews right here underneath here, so you just take that off. It comes separated like this in the pack, and you'll have to go and put this piece on, which it just goes and screws on there like that. So I take this off first. I open up the side here. Thing I do suggest is maybe putting a little liner of like a little insulation, a little rubber, or even a little bit of black tape inside here. That way you don't scratch up your quadcopter. So it just slides right on here. That way, in case you know it's moving around, you don't want it scratching it. You know, I don't know how important that is to you, but this one I don't really want to scratch up too much. But it just snaps right in there. It's snapped in. So now you can go and close these. Let me close this here since we're not traveling far. So I don't need those open. So so you just want to close this back up, and it's pretty simple. Just put it back under here, and then you just tighten it back down. Alright, so which just makes it pretty cool, because now you can adjust it like so. Actually go and turn it around here. So let me tighten that back up. Alright, so now I could go and adjust it here guys. So Now I could set my phone here, connect to Wi-Fi if I want. What I did is, you'll see in the video clip, is I went and I had my controller in my sweater pocket. I had it on in my phone right there, and I had it on record. I didn't keep it in this holder. I mean, that's up to you. If you want to go wireless, you can connect to Wi-Fi and not have the controller and just film with it. But I didn't want to go through that whole ordeal. I just kept the controller with me. Instead of having the wire connected, I just had it all in my pocket. So I set this down, filmed like this, a flat surface, and then I went for a walk, which did okay, you know. And like I said, you can just go and fold these back like so, and then you can adjust this up like this, and then you can rotate it. I just loosen it back up, rotate it back around this way, okay, and then tighten this back up, and now you got your selfie stick, which works out pretty good. And the gimbal and stuff, it wasn't too bad. You'll see I did a little shake test, and it seemed like it did all right. Cause any shorter battery life, because they're pretty big and bulky, so they may catch, you know, the air, you know, when you're flying, and it may put some drag on the drone. So, you know, I'll have to just take it up in the air and see how it does and how it lands with it. So I'll do a takeoff and land with those. But me personally, I'm not too sure. I hand catch, so, you know, I'll probably keep them with me just in case, but I'll probably not. I probably won't be using them, you know, but, you know, it is a good thing to have, just in case. You never know.
Alright guys, well, you can see it did clear quite a bit, but I don't like doing that because you can see I'm in a sandy area and I don't want it blowing up into the motors here. I usually hand catch it, so, but I just want to see what it's like. When it's windy out, I don't suggest it. I don't suggest to fly even in the wind like this. That's why I brought it back down, but I just wanted to see what it would do. It definitely, the wind kind of catches those a lot more. I noticed it, you know, moves the drone around quite a bit, so. It's pretty windy, so I believe that wind's catching these legs a lot more. I'm not going to go and fly it anyways because of the wind. I just want to take it up a little bit, and it definitely catches those legs a lot more than it does without them. So, you know, if it's not windy and you're in an area and you don't hand catch it, you know, I could see where these come in handy. But for me, I'm not going to go and use them. You know, I probably will take them with me just in case. You never know. They're kind of probably good to have. You know, just case you get in this situation. But all right, let's go inside. It's getting too windy, and I'll get to my conclusion, guys.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. My opinions on this is my conclusion. So far, you know, the gimbal idea / tripod, you know, I kind of give this one a thumbs up. I thought it was kind of cool little idea. And, you know, it worked for me. If I'm going to use it a lot, not too sure. Maybe the tripod part. But, you know, I'll have to do some more testing with it. So it wasn't too bad. So that one I didn't mind. All right, the sunshade, you know, it's okay. It's going to take some of the you know, sun coming in from the sides there. So, you know, I couldn't really tell if it's protecting or not. Right now, you know, I think it's okay. It's light enough weight, and it doesn't get in the way to hurt anything. So, you know, I may use this a few more times when in bright or when the sun's starting to come down. So that way it kind of stops that glare when you're yawing around. So, you know, that I give it a thumbs up. Not too bad. ND filters, a major thumbs up. Something you really need to have. I do suggest maybe getting the 4 and the 32 as well. So, but right now 8 and 16 is definitely a must. So I do like the Sunny Life ND filters. They're awesome filters, guys. So I do, you know, suggest that. And of course, their aftermarket gimbal guard, because if you decide, you know, you're going to go to another spot, instead of have to keep taking the ND filter off, you could slide this on, protect your gimbal, and have plenty of clearance so you're not putting any pressure on the gimbal. So I suggest, you know, getting one of these. It's not very expensive. You might as well have that in with your kit. Now what else we have? As in the legs, you know, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these legs, and I never have been on some of the quadcopters when they have aftermarket legs. But, you know, I mean, it might be for you. You guys will have to be the judge on that. Me, I'm probably not going to use them. I'll probably have them with me just in case of that emergency. I feel I have to, you know, I want to go land in some grassy area or something like that. But I hand catch my Mavic Air, so you know, I may not use these, so these, I'll let you guys be the judge of those. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks, HobbyInRC, also known as lighttake.com. I thank you guys for sending these accessories for the Mavic Air. I liked a lot of these accessories, and I'll probably be using some of them. Like I said, the legs, those are kind of just, you guys be the judge on that, but I do thank you for sending those out, and I do appreciate all you guys for watching. And if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe. And like always, guys, God bless, cheers, and happy flying.